Hi there guys, hope you're well. Welcome back to the channel. First of all, I would like to apologise for taking so long to put up another video. For anyone, if you do happen to be interested in anything that I have said in any previous videos, I'll explain why in this video it's taken so long. Also, I'd like to thank all of you for making this channel have nearly 200 million views, but 2 million views in total, and over 10,000 subscribers. To me, that's ridiculous. Yeah, when I set up this channel, I didn't know what to expect, but yeah, thank you anyway. That is crazy. But on to what the channel is going to be, or what I'm going to be talking about today. So it's pretty much a Mandela effect update. It's about things that have been happening to me. It is about, there's going to be a few Mandela effects in there as well. Or for anyone that says about my accent, Mandela effect. Yeah. So let me get straight on with it. So I've got a notepad here of things that have been happening since this Mandela effect has happened. And I really hate the term Mandela effect now, because although I know that identifies the effect, I want to think of it more as a consciousness shift or a quantum effect. If need be, it'd be one of those two. So first of all, I'd just like to talk about things that have... I want to apologize. So the reason why I was apologizing for taking so long to put up a video, I've deliberated about even doing this video for well over a month, easily. Every day I kind of think, oh yeah, I'm going to do it today, I'm going to do it today, I'm going to do it today, but then subsequently don't. It's one that I wasn't sure if I was even going to mention, because I feel like if any doctors are watching this, they'll probably think, oh, let's get him in for a psychological checkup to make sure he's okay. But yeah, I internally have changed drastically, I feel, over this last year or so. My motivation levels for everything, in particular over the past 3 to 6 months, have almost diminished to the point where there is not even one iota of motivation there. And that goes to many levels. That's even, like, I used to play football 3 times a week. I'm literally just playing once or twice at best now, just to keep up with a routine, to try and normalize things, I guess. But yeah, motivation-wise, I feel like there's almost zero motivation at the moment. Again, partly the reason why it's taken so long to put this video up. My moods have been at best, if I can describe it, as drastic. And I mean, I feel like I've felt every emotion there is, from extreme anger to the point where I just literally want to punch a hole in someone's head for no apparent reason. And I wouldn't say I'm a particularly violent person. I'd say I'm quite chilled most of the time. I don't want to say depression, because, as I say, I don't feel that I need to see a doctor for any of this. It's not... Although the symptoms are very similar, it feels like it's something different. Because they're so up and down. They're not continuous. One day I might have a really good day where I feel okay. Then, for example, I think it was about 4 days ago, for some reason, it just hit me, and it was like everything was bad about that day. Again, I can't explain this. Again, I know that anyone that hasn't been affected by the Mandela effect is probably thinking, yeah, go and get a mental health checkup and all the rest of it. And since the beginning, there or thereabouts, of me discovering the Mandela effect, there's been weird things that have happened I've documented in previous videos, so go back and watch those if you're interested in anything I'm saying. But 1 or 2 things that have happened. So about 4 or 5 months ago now, I had an orange fluid coming out of my nose, which Again, it could have been a sinus infection, but it just came and went. It was as if, like, I had to get rid of it. I know it sounds ridiculous. And the only reason why I'm mentioning that, because I did mention that in another video, is so I've never ever really had any backaches in my life. I've always been fortunate to not have any backaches as such. About 2 weeks ago, I had this real bad ache in my back, and I actually went to accident and emergency, so A&E in the UK. I went to accident and emergency because I thought it could have been like an internal organ, is the best way that I was describing it to the doctor. So I went and I had scans, had my blood tested, everything came back fine. And I thought, how could it come back fine? Like, I know what I felt. And then almost the next day, it just, again, dissipated as if it had never happened. And, yeah, like, I know what I was feeling at that time, that it was physical, not as opposed to internal. It was an actual external feeling, or internal in the sense that it felt like an organ. And the reason why I've mentioned these two things, there's a channel I've been following pretty closely on YouTube called The Event Is Coming Soon. Check them out, find their stuff. It might not be to everyone's taste, and I can understand why, but they have a section of energy updates, which is, I'm not sure how they're measuring it, whether it's they've got some sort of meter, whether they've got, I don't know, some sort of medium that can tell them what's happening. I'm not quite sure. But everything that seems to be happening with me, they seem to put out a video about a week later or there or thereabouts. So it's not as if I'm being influenced by one of their videos and then I'm materializing or manifesting these feelings, emotions, etc. from watching their video. So there was one about, the reason why I said about the orange fluid coming out of my nose, again, about a week after that, they had a video saying that your body will be dispelling, I can't remember if they said fluids or something to that effect from you, but it was like a purge in order to, again, this probably sounds crazy for anyone that is not affected by any of this, I understand, but it's like a purge that kind of prepares you for ascension, I guess. I mean, I feel weird even using these sort of words because they're not really things that I guess would typically be in my everyday vocabulary, so it's a bit awkward for me. But yeah, again, with the backache, about a week later, one of their videos came up on my news feed, and it was talking about backaches. So in the last week, you're going to be experiencing like backaches and different aches in different parts of your body. And I don't know, maybe this is to do with the chakras and things like that, that they are loosening up or adapting. I'm not 100% sure. But which leads me on to what I believe the cause of the effect of the Mandela effect is. I know everyone's talked about CERN, everyone's talked about quantum computing, confabulation, all the rest of it. I have gone back and forth about this so many times, and again, my view is still not definitive on this because I don't believe there's enough tangible evidence. But to me, it's seeming more and more likely, just from the things that people are reading about with these like consciousness shifts and all the rest of it. Again, yeah, it sounds corny, I know, but yeah, I believe that it's a very high possibility that there has been some sort of shift. I mean, you've got the Earth resonating at a different frequency. Again, you've got Nikola Tesla. I looked into him a while back, like, I don't know, maybe 2-3 years ago. Got quite interested into what he had to say. And again, he was saying that we're all thinking about the Earth incorrectly and that we need to think in terms of energy and frequency. Again, my personal beliefs as to what we are, I've done a video about this, so I don't want to harp on about it for too long. I truly believe that we are energy, and that this, what you're seeing on a screen, is effectively a vessel, like a rental car. And again, going back to the backache and the orange fluid that came out of my nose, I believe that the reason why I said that I wasn't influenced by their videos and that their videos came out after me experiencing these things is that I truly believe that if mentally you're exhausted or angry or anxious or whatnot, you will have physical representations of this. I believe that that is tangible. I just believe that many people's philosophical or spiritual religious outlook doesn't necessarily allow them to see the correlation between like a mental problem, I guess, to then have a physical manifestation of it. So if you go into work, for example, and you all of a sudden start feeling more physically sick because you don't like being where you are, or it's not right for you, or if you're in a crowd of people and their energy is affecting you, again, you might physically show some sort of symptoms like sweating or something like that. So it's all linked. And again, that's another symptom that I'd felt. So where I'd said extreme anger, extreme sadness, anxiety as well, I've felt, and again, all of this is in the last year, but so anxiety is another huge one, especially when I'm in crowds now. I've never overly liked being in crowds, but when I'm in crowds now, I almost have to. So I started wearing sunglasses out now, and I feel that this does help me. That it, again, maybe mentally makes me feel more incognito than being around crowds. But but yeah, I do believe that all of these symptoms. So I've heard people on here talk about these sort of symptoms. So it's not just me; it's happening to, and I guess that's what's given me the push to put this video out. That apparently this shift is disaligning our moods, and we're trying to get balance back on Earth because Earth's frequency has changed. That's what I've garnered from everything I've watched and read. Now, I've just forgotten what I was going to talk about then. I've lost my train of thought, but hopefully I'll go back to that. But yeah, another few Mandela effects so I've still been watching videos even though I haven't put any up on my own. So the Miss Jackson one, that was an interesting one. You know, I'm sorry, Miss Jackson, I am for real. So before, I think it was Moneybags that put this one up. I paused it at that point because this song came on all of the time, and I sang it myself again without being influenced by what anyone else had to say, and I said 1,000 times. And then I asked someone else and they said 1 trillion times. And even when I'm saying that word now, again, it's like a lot of these effects. It almost feels awkward to say the word trillion with regard to it being in that song. Another one, The Way You Make Me Feel by Michael Jackson. So I know it as You Really Turn Me On. So the way you make me feel, you really turn me on. But now that's You Really Turn Me Good. Again, I sang that in my head before I was influenced by a video. So I mean, even if you don't believe in the Mandela effect, what are the chances of me singing it exactly the same way as someone else before they have sung it? For example, Miss Jackson. So I'm trying to approach this from a logical perspective here. Okay, if I'm a pessimist, no, not a pessimist, so basically if I don't see the Mandela effect and I just see it as a bunch of crazy people, right, I'm going to look at this logically and think, okay, so someone's singing Miss Jackson with 1,000 times. Why would they say it the same as someone else before they've said it? Like, there has to be something there, even if you don't believe in the Mandela effect. Hopefully that makes sense, what I've just tried to explain there. So with this video, I literally woke up a little while ago and I just felt compelled to do this. Another thing, when I was previously putting out Mandela effect videos from the beginning, I almost felt like a man possessed in a sense too, that I had to do it. I feel like there were some videos about the Mandela effect out then. I didn't discover it. I wasn't the first one on the scene, but I felt like I had to do it. It was like I felt like a cog in a machine, and this is why I never monetized this channel. As I say, it's had nearly 2 million views in total. That probably would have got me some money there, I'm sure. But it was as if I had to put these videos out, but it felt more like, again, the only way to describe it is that I was a cog in a machine. Like, I'm not the overall picture here, but I feel like maybe something I said in one of those videos maybe influenced someone else, or gave someone else the courage to talk about what they've been going through, and then so forth and so forth. So then, you know, they might have helped someone else, etc. And again, that's part of the reason why I haven't put out so many videos now, because I feel like the Mandela Effect community has reached a stage now where it's almost not so much self-sufficient, but I feel like there's so much evidence out there, tangible evidence. And there's so many people talking about it. You've got, I think his name's Hidden Knowledge now, putting out the top 3 Mandela effects of the week. You've got Moneybags talking about it. You've got Life Matrix popping up every now and again, putting out videos. I mean, you've got a lot of people that are talking about it. And I feel like almost like my work is done to a certain degree. But I felt, again, I'm still going to use this channel to talk about other subjects, or Mandela Effect, if it does happen to come up, like another big Mandela Effect that you're like, okay, this is the one that's going to get everyone on board. The amount of times I've thought that is quite a few, to put it bluntly. But there is something I'm forgetting to talk about, but I just cannot for the life of me think what it is. So I'm going to end the video there, guys. That's already gone on for 16 minutes. But thanks a lot for your time. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for getting me to over 10,000 subscribers. That's insane. But yeah, have a good day, and come back to the channel. Thanks, guys.